Good evening, everyone. You're back. We are back for another When Calls the Heart recap. This is season 12, episode 9. Can you believe it? I feel like just yesterday it started. So I want to say good evening and thank you. I saw that a lot of you had been here at 8. And I did make a notation of it, but when I have a guest that is from the totally different time zone from me, like the Pacific time zone. I'm in the Eastern, and they've got scheduling issues. I try to accommodate them because I want them to come on and chat with us. So I try to be as accommodating as possible. Because we are live, sometimes we run into little hiccups here and there, but I'm going to have Vienna on. She is Angela on the almost said the way home when calls the heart, and she was supposed to join us with the other girls not too long ago, but she wasn't feeling well, so she'll be on tonight all by herself. And I was like, you know what, this is perfect because we got to see that great episode and now we could talk about it, because before it would be like a spoiler, so this is a good thing. So hello everyone. I know that, I think, was it Margie who had asked last night that we pray for South Carolina because there are such terrible wildfires going on. And I could see all over social media where we are interconnected, how people were saying they were praying, which is a nice thing. And hello, hello. I'm just seeing, what's this? This is Constance. Hi, Constance. You're from Ohio. We have a lot of Hearties and people who love When Calls the Heart from Ohio. I love to live in a musical college town. Oh, still singing in our church choir. Just saying hello to everyone. Hi, hi, and hi, hi. And some of our friends that we always know are here. Nikki is here. Hi, Nikki. She's from Iowa. And everyone's just saying hello. And if you're new, just introduce yourself. The friends will see each other in the comments. Joanne, don't be insulted, but it's your last name that's throwing me off. Are you new to the podcast? Maybe you've been here before, but you've never really been in the chat. So it would be cool. Oh, hi from BC too. Good. Okay. Hi, everyone. Hello. And Robin's saying to you, Margie, we hope you're okay and pray the fires slow down sooner than later. Yes, 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 yes. Hi, Judy. Okay. So the first half hour, I'm going to recap and hopefully I'll be done and ready to talk about when Vienna comes on and we can talk about her wonderful storyline from last night. It was like something I was looking forward to because it's rooted in actual in history, real history as opposed to fake history. But it's not historical fiction. It's based on real history, as I tell my students. So I thought, okay, sometimes you use the maiden name. Okay, not that I wanted you to have to give away your life story. It was just I was wondering if if it was just different last name. All right, so normally I like to talk about all the things that I love first. What I want to do is I want to talk about things that kind of irked me a little bit or annoyed me because there wasn't much. Okay. I really loved this episode. There are things though that, of course, nothing's perfect, and I'm being a critic. I'm just giving my opinion, what I see and why I see it. Doesn't mean that, we're gonna trash it. We're not doing that. Why would I dedicate all my time to this if it wasn't something I didn't already love? You loved it too, Brenda. I'm glad that you loved it. Brenda, tell us in the comments why you loved it. I'm curious to know. Give us, if you don't mind, type in some cool stuff for us. Okay, so while I'm going to keep Brenda up there so I remember to look for what she has to say. One of the things that I didn't care for was the Ava storyline. And it's not that I didn't like the storyline. I like the character. I thought she was very interesting. She was very much like Rosemary when Rosemary first came to town. And I almost am suspicious if was that really the storyline, because I am jealous and I am greedy when it comes to the other characters that I'm already in love with in the show. I wanted to see more about Angela and her family. I wanted to see more about the children going to school and not just Allie and Oliver and them working out their projects. I wanted to see them all more with Henry, if that's where Henry's storyline was going to go. I wanted to see Henry, even though he doesn't want to be in politics, there as Lucas's friend because they are friends, they are close, they trust each other. Lucas very much trusts him. I wanted to see more of that throughout the season. I don't mean just this episode, I'm just saying in general. And I feel like when you have these other filler type storylines, like the Ava storyline, that really doesn't connect anything, but maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's something to come. I don't want that to be. I want Lucas and Edie building a relationship. I want Lucas to interact with other people. I want him to come to some of the things that are going in town and not stuffed in his office. I want to see, Molly and Jeb, what happened to them? Why can't they go on a little romantic dinner? Why can't he be talking about the gold that he found, even though he doesn't realize that he knows what it is? Why couldn't they be having a conversation about, their dance that they shared together? Or I don't know. I just want all these other characters that I love to have more screen time than a stranger. A stranger that to me, I understand when you in the past they've done this, when you bring in somebody that's from the outside and there's a connection. Like remember when Carson had his sister-in-law come by and she was mad at him and wanted to sue him or have him arrested, and then the other sister needed the operation, his sister-in-laws rather. It kind of moved the story along. It gave us some background into him. It gave us some character development for him. Who is Ava giving character development to? Why was she there? And what avenue, like what storyline did it move? I don't know. Okay. So I kind of thought that was a little weird. I'm going to come back because I've had a lot of hot air coming out of me. All right. Let's see. Where are you, Brenda? Did you tell me why you loved it? Because I want to know. Not that I'm tearing it down. I'm just curious. I like to see what you have to say. Here she is. I loved, Angela and her family, and I love Lucas, and I love everything except how the Ava storyline ended. Okay, Brenda, you're kind of like there with me. All right, gotcha. Okay, so I see a lot of others. So before I move on from this, what was the real purpose of Ava? I don't know Avis. And Avis, I really truly see things, and I think it's funny, and I've said this before. Hallmark really does listen to, when we say Hallmark, they listen to their fans in general. Okay. I think that's why their fans are so like root for their Hallmark. They're like, yeah, we know there's always a happy ending, but we're okay with it. That's what we want. But coming back to When Calls the Heart, when they're paying attention to what we have to say, I feel like they keep missing the mark. So when we said we would like to see where in the past there was like these episodes that kind of wrapped up 2-3 episodes later, I get all that. I can see how they're trying to do that, but it's so disjointed and sporadic. I think they have to do a better job of mapping it out. Okay. I think the Ava story they could have had early on and it could have been quick, but I really want to know. In my head, I'm thinking she's really not what she says, but yet they had the Pinkertons involved. They told us, they didn't show us anything. The man who was ripping off people didn't come through or through. I don't know. I feel like they're listening, but they're not. Like they're missing the mark. Just saying. Lillian. Okay. Ava's storyline was absolutely pointless. Took up way too much time that could have been used for the main characters. Just like the radio play and the play in general. Okay. I thought the whole Ava storyline was a waste of time that could have been better spent on regular cast. Yes, yes. And I'm greedy. I want to see them. I want to see Lucas and Edie developing their relationship. She's new. She's permanent. I want to see more of Oliver and what we saw in the beginning. And then I want to see his relationship growing with others, not just now them walking through the woods, trying to solve some kind of a mystery or some kind of a, not so much a mystery, some kind of problems that children shouldn't be resolving. But I don't know. I wanted to see more of the relationship with him and his peers. And that kind of went away. And what happened to the comic books? Nobody mentions the comic books with the kiddos anymore. It's like the writers didn't know how to fill the time. Yeah, but they really could have filled the time. All right. We already shared that. Love to see the old Lucas return, smiling, laughing, taking on McGinty, go get him governor. Yes, and we're going to talk about that. And again, people are saying disjointed and whatnot. I'm not going to talk about the Canfield storyline because I'm going to wait to share that with Vienna because it's good. So again, it sounds like it was this big blow up, but it was just this small little piece. There were things that I really liked about the Ava character. I liked I like how how Rosemary has to drag Elizabeth into stuff. I love how Lee was like, I know you, Rosie. What are you up to? What happened to a storyline for Lee this year? It was this tiny little blip when he was worried about his dad, and it was meaningful and it was great. And I love what he had to say. And then he kind of is like in the shadows. He's washing a glass. What? Okay, anyway. Judy, the Ava storyline was actually a waste of time because it took away from such important main characters and it annoyed you. Okay. They are expecting to have several more seasons, but the quality is not there. They won't be able to make great stories based on the way they are doing things. They really need to have proper writers. You know what, Chelsea? I see that, and then I turn around and I'm part of a fan page that has something like close to 50,000 people on it. And I cannot tell you how many people just enjoy this season. They're okay with all of the storylines. I feel like there's a core of us that are not. And then there's all these other people that are just there to just watch the show because it's good, clean fun. That's what they constantly say. We're a little more invested, I think. That might be what it is. Yeah, that's what I think it is. Maybe we'll see a change. They're probably hawking what I have to say. All right, let's go with Kathy, and then I'm going to go talk about the other thing, the tiny little thing that annoyed me. The only thing I liked about the Rosemary Ava storyline was how Rosemary really doesn't know that she's just like Ava. So annoying. But the other cast members instead, yes, they did. And I love that. And she kind of does, but she doesn't want to admit it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I know. That's funny. Okay. So now let's talk about a little bit of what annoyed me here. Not Allie and Oliver. Didn't mind them going through the woods and helping out this guy because there was a bit of an innocence to them. And I loved how Allie said, here, I brought you paper and charcoal because he said he wanted to do a rubbing, not a rubbing. He wanted to see where his parents carved out on the tree, but he really was looking for a different carving. I have to tell you, that guy who played that character was great. I love, like I told you last week, where he was shooing off Molly when he thought she was listening, and he was rude when he's like, do you see any luggage? Like when Mike was asking him if he wanted to check in stuff. He just was silly. Now that's my point. This is what annoyed me. Even the guy who escaped from jail was like a buffoon. These two guys were not really dangerous. It was almost like a Laurel and Hardy kind of thing. They were arguing with each other. Then they're being outwitted by a school teacher who rings a bell. And I know why she was ringing it, to clang so people could hear where they were. I get that. But these two guys are supposed to be Hardy. Well, not so much the one cousin, but the guy that broke out of jail, the Garrison gang. This was a big deal. This is part of the gang that Jack and Bill put away. And it was serious stuff. And what happened? It became like Keystone Cop, but remember I said that I don't want it to be Keystone Copish, but not about cops. It would be bad guys, like goofy bad guys. And that's what they were, two fools. And it was so easy to, boom, take them down. I'm like, what? I liked Oliver trying to be, very, which kind of was silly in a way for him and dangerous to do, but trying to be the hero, but not trying to be a hero. He truly was trying to protect Allie. And then when they come into town, they're all clapping for Allie. And I'm thinking to myself, why? Did she help take down the gang? But it wasn't really a gang. They were silly. So did you find that they were silly? Like they were dum-dums? Yes. Yes, he did. Henry did look cool in this episode. Yes, yes, yes. And I want to see more of that. Yes. Here it is, Nikki. The Garrison gang is a joke. If a teacher and two kids can distract him, he's not that tough. I know what happened. His brain went to mush when he was in jail. I don't know. Let's see, Margie. Elizabeth is suddenly developed a love for adventure. Why did she need to rush recklessly off to save Allie and Oliver instead of letting men handle it? She wasn't thinking about Jack then. It was a mother instinct. She was going after her daughter. Do you know what I mean? She looks at her like that. She was in charge of her. I'm okay with her jumping in and wanting to help out because she did have the guys with her. I'm okay with that. That part didn't bother me. It's just, yeah. Bill just saw the Garrison guy in jail and then he escapes. I know. I know. Getting back to the Rosemary thing, you're right, Robin. That was funny. The funny scene was when Lee nudged Rosemary and said, "Stop it." I thought that was great. I thought that was funny as she's always over the top. I'm wondering if that was scripted or not, or if it was something those two always throw things in. So I think that's funny. And yes, Dee, I want more Henry too. Come on now. Okay, so I'm going to move away from all of that. I'm going to move now into the things that I loved. They really made Hickam, poor Hickam. He is a wonderful guy, and they always make him look like the clown, but I love him. I mean, I really do. And I love how he wants to help out. And he came in, he's like, "Oh my God, I can't find them." And then it was after the fact, and then everybody was looking, and there was a real laughter in Henry's face. I think that the actors themselves were enjoying it because he had really true like laughter. If you see him get into the booth with him and with Henry and Lee, yeah, I know. Funny stuff, fun stuff. So I enjoyed a lot of the little background stuff. So I love that face that Henry was making. It felt natural. And then I also liked when Lucas was having a conversation with Edie and he turns to, he's like, "Oh, fantastic." He's like excited she's staying and having dinner. And Kevin, who's Lee, is in the background wiping the glass, and then he stops and he raises an eyebrow. And he's like, and then he starts washing again the dish or the glass. And I'm like, "Oh, look at this." I wanted it. And I had said this last night. I wanted that look when I first saw the preview. I couldn't really zone in on it. It goes so fast. I wanted to make sure that when Lee was like listening in, that it was because if they were to have a conversation later on, Lee and Lucas, it wouldn't be about, "Oh, can you trust Edie?" It would be more about, Lucas's heart. Like, is he ready to date again kind of thing. I really enjoyed the conversation that Lee had with Edie because he didn't hold anything against her, and she's cool. She's the kind, she can speak frankly and say, "This is my job." And he was like, "You're doing a great job." Yet they're on opposite sides, but they're not going to let it get in the way, which I liked. And I don't think anything that Edie does is she's not letting it get in the way. Even Lucas, when he sits and has that conversation with her and it's just them, he's like, "This is how it's going to be." And she's like, "It's not going to be good." And he's like, "But we're going to stay friends." This is important to him, these friendships. And I'm like, yes. Now, I'm all here for Lucas and Edie. I know some people are not, but I like what they're doing. I have faith that if there's another season, I truly think there will be. And they're building that storyline. I have faith in the characters and I have faith in the actors. Chris said he chose Miranda because he could feel the chemistry. So if they're feeling it as actors, we're going to see it. And I'm excited to see it progress. Some people won't see it because they refuse to see it because they still can't see anything else but, why Lucas is not with Elizabeth. That's okay. But I like how they're progressing along with it. I'm excited and I'm here for it. All right. Now, before I move any further, I want to see what you're all saying. Let's see. I'm glad Georgie will be back next episode. It looks like she is the point about not having Rosemary involved in the gold case. Yes. And we're going to talk about some of the previews soon. Hope it's okay to say, but there is a great interview with Miranda on Suspenders Unbuttoned. Cindy, did you see my interview with Miranda? I love how theirs is exclusive, but isn't it exclusive when it's the only one? But I heard he had it and so many other people did too. Like, what's exclusive mean? They're just having a good time with their words, maybe. But she's great. I love her. I love all of the interviews she's done. She's given us in each interview a little bit of something. So when Miranda was on with Edify, she gave us some stuff that we hadn't known when after I had spoken to her. So each time that she does her interview, she's good. She's sharp. She gives a little bit more like to her background of what she's allowed to. And of course, it's okay to say that. Why wouldn't you be able to say that? Of course, it's okay. Absolutely. Okay. You, Avis, you're liking Edie and Lucas. Me too. Yes. And yours was great. You just have to say that, Cindy. I think it's funny. I agree, Roxanne. Oh, good. Arlene's my best friend today. I agree, Roxanne. Love Edie and Lucas' friendship and excited to see it progress. Both actors have great screen presence together. They do. Yes, Miranda is great. She is. Okay. Edie just currently is in a tough position. And the townspeople do seem to like her, which is awesome, as she is a good person, something Lucas can definitely and is falling for her. I don't know if he's falling for her. I think he's attracted to her and likes her. He likes her moxie, but I think she's got a crush on him already. Even the way she like looks at him, she's doing a good job. So, and he likes her. Like they like the same stuff. I feel like he kind of feels like a kindred spirit with her, you know? So I'm looking forward to that. Now, there was Mike and May's silliness, and I'm okay with their silliness. And I really want to make a recipe with the chicken and the pickles and that delicious bread. I came up with something. I'm going to call it the working, because they had a working dinner, the working chicken sandwich, the working dinner chicken sandwich. That's what I'm calling it. And it has pickles on it and delicious bread and shredded up chicken. And I'm working on it myself. I have something similar in our family and put it out for next week. But I don't mind them being silly if May's character wasn't always like that. I do love to see that she's in love and she's relaxed, right? But I want to see May being. I think we're going to get to see it soon when there's and not next episode, but then the following one after that, where there's a serious thing going down with little Jack. I want to see her as a pharmacist. You know, I don't want her just to see her, yes, making, running everybody else's errands and doing everybody else's stuff. She's helping out Fiona before in the salon. Who's going to take over the salon, by the way? Now she's helping out Minnie because she lives there, and Minnie and she are tight and they're good friends. I'm like, well, wait a minute, she doesn't live there. She used to live there. So, and you know what? Can we see the inside of Micah May's apartment again? Like, I want to see them in their house. I want to see them having dinner. I want to see this. I'd rather see that than know about Ava and her trunk. No plates, just pick it off the bone and eat it. I know. And they went and they did the clanking. It was cute. Yes, I miss her mature self. Yes and no. I don't want them to swing so far away around, because I love their relationship and the gentleness and they had for each other, and how he truly wants to help her and she truly wants to be there for him. I love that. And I want to see more of that. I don't want it to be like where they don't know where that storyline can go like they've done before. So this brings me to my next favorite storyline and my wonderful guest. She's here. Oh, and he's with her.
Hi, my parents.
Oh, what is this? We're getting a 2-for-1?
Hi.
Hi. We are just about to get to the part that we just love. Everybody wants to talk about your storyline. So
Awesome.
I'll get out of here. You can talk.
Okay.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mom.
Hello.
Is this too far back, or do you need it?
You can do whatever you want. Whatever works for you.
I can bring this closer. I'm gonna bring this closer to her.
Yes, let's see her beautiful face.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's good.
All right. Yes.
Okay, cool.
I love it. Look how long your hair is.
Yeah, I know, extensions.
That's okay. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Loving it. How long did that take, if you don't mind me saying? How long did it take to have that in?
Well, to get it was like 5 hours of sitting there. Yeah.
Yeah. My some of my students, when they come in and they have all their extensions in, I'm like, how long did they take you? And they're like, forever.
Yeah, I know. Sitting in the chair for like half the day.
Yes, that's okay. It's worth it, right?
Yeah.
It is. It's
Worth
worth
it.
it. All right. So I'm so glad you're here. And you know what?
Thanks, Ryan.
I'm unhappy that you were sick or
I
not
know.
feeling well,
It was
but
going around. I was like, there's no way I could do this. I wanted to so badly.
oh no. Here's the part that I love. It worked out because we wouldn't have been able to talk about this fabulous scene we just had,
Right.
or episode rather. So,
It all worked out.
so everyone is here and they're very excited. They're saying hello to you. I don't know what device you're on, but some devices you're able to see on the right hand side. People just saying,
Oh, I see. I see it. Okay. Hi.
yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. And look, they were excited that they saw your dad too.
Oh my god. Yeah. I didn't realize it was live. I was like, oh my goodness.
No, it's all good. All right. So I want to talk about some other stuff, but let's talk about your scene last night. Okay.
Yeah, of
Your
course.
storyline. I've been waiting. So what I found really fun and interesting is that the school really was a school, wasn't it?
Okay, so we turned the judge's office
Uh-huh.
into Schwartzman,
Mm-hmm.
and that was supposed to be the school. Yeah, that Angela's going to. They did a great job. Set deck was amazing with it. It was like, are we even in the set right now? Because it was like a totally different building.
It was gorgeous.
Cool.
Yes. But it's the name of the school is a real school. I'm going to add this real quick.
Yeah.
And then we could talk about this. Hold on. Let's see if I don't throw myself out. If I do, don't worry, I will come back.
No worries.
You just hang out with everyone.
All right.
All right. Okay. I wanted to share these. Let me share it this way. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sharing it the wrong way. Done. No, I don't want that. I did it the wrong way. I apologize.
No worries.
I don't want to lose us. I want to remove that.
The outside? Right, the outside.
I wanted to share the photo that they had. That I think it was Natasha who posted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I also saw that.
Yes. And I always share all the time, and I don't know what I'm doing this time.
It's all good.
That's not what I want to add. All right. I'll share it when I have a minute.
Yeah, no problem.
So it was in history and time an actual real school.
Yes.
And the characters that Clementine, that's such a cute name. And what was the other actors, the other character's name?
Their names are Clementine and Emma, and they were played by Keisha and Ginny. Those are the names.
Here was my question. Were the other, there were other actors that were in the background with you in the school, were they visually impaired?
They were, and I got to meet all of them, and they were they were as excited as I was to meet them, because I'm like, these are the beautiful people that I'm representing, and now I get to work with them, and it was like one of the best days on set.
Now, are they actively acting? Are they actors? That's what they want to do. That's their career. Or was it that it was specifically for this particular scene?
I know that Keisha was usually with me in more of the scenes. I think she's done like some short films. Cool. Ginny, it was actually her first time, and we were so shocked because she was super nervous. I'm like, it's okay. I was as nervous as you were on your first day. It's all good. Yeah. And actually, you know what? I think it was the actresses, both of their first days, doing something as big as like When Calls the Heart. But I think they've had like some before. But yeah, that was like the biggest thing that they've ever done. I'm like, oh my goodness. No worries.
And you know what I loved? I have a disabled niece, and she has cerebral palsy, and she goes to a school where not always, but we had her in regular public school and then eventually changed it. And she would be with her friends that are just like her, right? Aww. And I love that line. This makes me emotional. I loved and then wait, this was funny. I loved when you were together and you got the blind, she said, leading the blind.
I know.
Who came up with that line?
I don't know. I know. So we laughed every time. Like, this is so cute. Like,
yeah, that was good to add some humor. So it was scripted.
Yeah.
It wasn't like something you threw in there, right?
No, I wish we threw it in there, but no, it was scripted in there.
Now, so that's an emotional scene when you think about, or I keep saying scene, but it's a storyline. And so all of you did fantastically. Like your dad was great and Natasha was great. And I was curious, when you have scenes like that, is it easier because you are already close to them outside of work, or is it more difficult because I know it's your dad, but it's a different kind of relationship than your dad, you know?
Of
And
course.
Natasha is your friend, and
Yeah.
now she's your mom. You know, is it more challenging or is it okay? It makes it easier.
It actually helps because, like, any scenes I have with my dad, it's not going to be acting. It's just what it is. Like, that's our relationship. And because our characters in the show are so close to the characters that we are in real life, it's
Mhm.
almost that there is no acting involved usually with my dad, with my brother,
Yeah.
right? We're always cracking jokes and we're always like the same banter back and
Mhm.
forth in the show. And with Natasha, yes, it's very different. Before I got in the show, I didn't know who she was, and then we
Mhm.
built our connection and our relationship. And she's like, yeah, you could say my friend, but she's more like a cool aunt. I know
Yeah.
I've thrown that
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
And so the relationship outside of set, especially even stronger with my brother and dad, always helps an actor.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
really good. We can tell. And it
Yeah.
looks like really genuine. Like I feel like it's effortless. And
Yeah.
I always say that my favorite thing is when I forget that I'm watching a show and I forget that people are acting. I
Oh,
love that. And that's the whole Canfield family. Like you
yeah.
and like, and when I say you, I'm going to mean your character. When you're on there with your brother, that interaction, the same with mom and dad, all of it,
Yeah.
mom and dad together by themselves. I forget that it's, acting, which is a great,
Yeah.
great compliment because that's
I'm
what we
glad to
want.
hear
We
that.
want to escape, right? I know. Okay, now
For sure.
Judy's saying that scene is in the school was excellent.
Thank you, Judy. I appreciate that.
And Lillian says the entire
Oh,
scene was just wonderful.
thank you, Lillian.
And Arlene says, love that the Hallmark hired blind actors. Do we say blind or visually impaired, or you don't know?
I go back and forth.
Okay.
I was comfortable enough to say blind, like in front of Keisha and Ginny, and
Mhm.
they put it back at me too. So I was like, all right. And I just in case I use visually impaired, but yeah.
Yes. I have a friend that is visually impaired. She's
Mhm.
legally blind and she uses both, but I didn't
Yeah.
know I didn't know. Sometimes that's regional, and you know what I mean? You're in a
Yeah.
different region. I didn't know what that was. I was curious. So Arlene says, love that the Hallmark hired blind actors. Um,
Ben
Ben, what is it? I can't,
Mel?
yes, is legally blind, and he was the male lead in My Christmas Guide.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, I read about that. Yes. Yes.
man.
All right. Now, Kathy, you're asking a question that I'm going to come to, but not yet. Um, how did they feel like when you were on set with them? Like,
Mhm.
was it a day of filming, 2 days of filming, and how did they feel like meeting the others and being a part of this whole huge cast that you all have?
I I could only I don't know. It was very different. Like, I could only imagine what it
Right.
would feel like because I know the two actors, like Keisha and Ginny, knew what was going on, but like to be like thrown in and immersed in it, I know it would
Hmm.
be so much different than actually being like, okay, now I gotta go over here. Okay, now that I gotta go to hair and makeup. They were like so great for their first times on set
Oh, cool.
and like these big roles that this was like so new to them.
Hmm.
And I know that they were very thankful and excited, and I was very thankful and excited to meet them and just hang out with them. um yeah, everybody, like, they were super funny, so it's really nice just to get through the day with like lots of humor.
Oh,
And
good.
yeah, it was a full day of filming, just like our scenes and then obviously as
Sure.
a cast, but like it was a lot of that day, and it was like great. It was
I
so
know.
fun.
Right, right. And like you said, the set was really, really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's see. Robin says, now that you have been in the show for a few years, and we're going to roll into other things, and now and doing a fabulous job, how do you feel
Yeah.
about acting now? And will you or are you going to pursue it in the future?
That's a good question.
Mm.
Yes, I would love to pursue it in the future. I know this has been like one of my first roles that's turned into my 5-year first role.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love it already.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm actively like taking acting classes, which always helps, like even established actors like the legends, they're still taking acting classes. They're still going to workshops.
They
I'm
are.
not up there yet, but like
Yeah, they
I
are.
hope to get up there. So
Yeah.
I'm still practicing. I'm still like learning everything I can learn. And yeah, that's like my top goal.
All right. And then Jean is saying that Vienna, you do such a wonderful job acting as a blind person in the show. Very talented.
Thank you, Jean.
What did you do? I'm sure this is a skill you had to learn because I was thinking about that. One of the challenges that's a good challenge for this role
Yeah.
would be how you to act and what to do. What was something that you had to learn to help
I I had to learn to rely on like uh hearing and reacting more than what I can see,
you? Oh,
because what I can see, I'm going to react as if I was not a
mhm.
blind person. And
Right,
so it was challenging in the way that I had to like almost delay my reactions. Okay,
right.
like a
Yeah.
side note, we have flies on set, right?
Right,
So
right.
like if a fly crossed my vision, I had to like like with the life of me pretend it wasn't there, or like not flinch and not react to it. But I definitely had to focus on my audio cues a lot more than visual cues, and delay reactions that I would have if I wasn't visually impaired. That was probably the biggest challenge that I've had.
That's all right. I like it too. You do a good job because Angela does like your eyes, of course you're not going to always be looking at directly at
Yeah,
people. And like you can tell sort of like with your head how you are like listening. We
of
could
course.
see it, so it's
Yeah,
believable. What
thank
about riding the bike? Do you
you.
remember when you had to ride the bike with Robert?
Every time so like I think it was the first season that I had to ride the bike with Javen, and again, every scene that I have to ride a bike, I'm like not using my hands, so it was like the Titanic, and I was
Yes.
like so scared, but I trusted Javen. It was all
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
and we
yeah.
practiced like right before the scene,
Yes.
and I had to pedal at the same time. No, like I wasn't able to grab the handles. I had to like free like pedal basically for a good 10 seconds. And then the most recent one, I think, yeah, I was able to have my handles on the handlebars, but still it was always a challenge. And I just think like, first aid and set deck for standing by. I was like,
No, 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 no. Now, this is interesting. I want to put this here. Judy,
Mhm.
is that what her name is? Yeah, Judy says, it always warms
Oh,
my heart when people with disabilities are included because it's real life. I cannot tell you, and I don't know if you've ever heard this, a storyline that a lot of fans wish would be that Carson comes back and he's
mhm.
this great surgeon and he restores your eyesight. Have you
I
heard that?
Yeah, a lot
Okay.
of people have
Here's
wanted that.
Now, here's what I say. I don't want that. Not that I wouldn't wish that on,
Of course,
wish
of
that for
course.
someone, but I don't want that in this story because I like that we get to see how a disabled person is living and all that they can do. It makes it interesting and it's still a
Yeah.
beautiful storyline. So you got to stay blind.
I know. There would be no storyline if I wasn't. But yeah, I've heard that like
You have?
that little wish. I was like, yeah, and I wish that for people in real life. If
Yeah.
only it was that easy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What has been your favorite storyline, you think, so far out of all the seasons you've been?
I I enjoy my own storyline, and also like being, because Jada and I are friends in real life. We met like when we were 10, and so it's also a very natural connection, and there's not a lot of acting involved. I've known her since I was a kid, but I do like being involved with scenes that have to do with the other girls on set, because we all get along. And it's just really fun. It's like being with your school friends, and it's just like you get to always hang out. Even when they cut, you're still hanging out, and then when we're doing scenes,
They're still together.
It's really fun. Yeah.
I love what they've been showing us on social media and in the press packets, where it's the four of you either walking together or sitting in the booth together. I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to share this, and I think I've heard you speak about this before, but this is good for everyone to know. It says, "Love you playing piano. Do you play any other instrument, and what type of music do you enjoy? Do you even play the piano?"
No, I don't.
I know it. And you're this great musician.
I wish I could play as well as Angela. That has always been my biggest wish. And I started playing piano when I was like maybe 12, 13, but it was lessons, and I got like, my teacher was like very good, and that scared me, so I stopped.
Aww.
I wish I continued, because my mom can play. I don't play piano at all. Like, I can do like little riffs, little harmonies, you know. Other instruments, I don't play any other instruments. I wish I did. And music that I enjoy, I know my parents have a lot to do with like the influence that my brothers and I in music have listened to. Definitely R&B and early 2000s and like 90s music, soul music. I'm also very into like chill R&B.
Okay. Now,
yeah.
that was one of my wanted to, like, we did a dive right into the storylines, but one of our get to know you fun kind of things. Like, do you have a favorite song currently right now that you could just listen to over and over and over again?
I do. What is it called? It's "If I Could Fall in Love" by Lenny Kravitz. My dad played it again, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I started playing it at work, and it was just really catchy. It's like, it's like rock at the same time as like,
he's got his own little vibe, doesn't he?
He's his own person.
Yes, he is. I saw a funny interview with his daughter, and they were making fun about her dad at the gym working out, and he had leather pants on.
Of course he did. It's Lenny Kravitz.
That's so funny. God. I know, that's funny. What about your favorite snack? You got a favorite snack?
I do. I have a sweet tooth. I love chocolate almonds. Anytime we go to the States, we'll go to Trader Joe's and then just bring like a bulk of chocolate almonds. So that has been my favorite snack. I should really stop eating them, but yeah.
You can get them on set too, can't you? I think someone was saying that, right?
Yeah.
Who was mentioning it? Yeah.
Jada and she introduced me to like the pickled almonds. She really likes them. And then they brought the chocolate almonds. So I will go for that.
So they've got like that. I love pickle everything, and I love pickled peanuts, but I've never had pickled almonds. I'm gonna have to go look them up.
They're pretty addictive. They're just like chips. It's not good.
No, that's okay. Almonds are better. I think almonds are better. And what do you think? Are you more a PJ comfy girl, or you like dressing up?
I think that depends. Like when I was in school, and if we had PJ day, I'd always just wear like comfortable clothes. Like I would still gotta be fancy in a way, but I do like dressing up at the same time. I love like loungewear. I think when I go out, I like dressing up though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like, but a little bit of like
a little bit of both.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, do you think Angela's ever gonna ride a horse?
I was really scared, and I was also excited if that ever came up, because I mean the bike is hard enough. I don't know with a live animal, but I would definitely practice at it, and I would get more comfortable, and I would love to ride a horse. The last time I rode a horse was when I was 5, so we'll have to see about that. But
I know. Okay, so now tell us about, like, you already talked about why you love acting. You want to be, continue.
Yeah.
How in the world did it all even begin? Like, where did it start? I mean, I know you got a history. I mean, your whole family, like, you have an older brother too, right? I just
I
saw
have
them on
younger
something.
brothers.
They're
He
younger than you.
looks, yeah, they look
Okay.
older than me now because they're so tall, but no, they're
Okay. I didn't realize you were the oldest. I thought you were in the middle for
yeah.
some reason.
Oh
So
no.
your brother, I guess he's right after you, right? It's you.
Lennox.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I saw him in a movie and I was like, wait a
Yeah.
minute. I think I know who that is.
Yep.
So I'm like, look at all of you. And okay, so tell us me how it all began.
Okay. It started when I was around, I think when I was around 5. My dad would bring us to set sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and there was just like an audition that I had. Actually, I was able to do with my mom. They were like practice auditions. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of got into it. Well, yes, I got into it because of my dad, but it did start when I was very young. We would be in like commercials here and there. My
Right.
cousin at the time was doing a commercial, and my brother Lennox and I were able to be in it. And we were just fooling around in the back of a car or something, just like playing with a toy.
Mm-hmm.
And and then when I was 10, there was an opportunity to play a character Sydney in a kids show, PBS kids show, Ready Jet Go, that Jada was in already, and I had no idea. And my dad's friend, who was a casting director, was like, "Hey, do you know anybody who would be able to play this character? And or do you have like any girls in mind, any daughters?" And he's like, "Yeah, I have a daughter," but I'd never done anything in the acting world like that, and I was
Mm-hmm.
very nervous at first. But I auditioned for that. I got it. It was a really big day, and I kind of stuck with it. I liked doing accents. I liked,
Mm.
singing. I'm not gonna do them because I can't offend anybody. I liked singing, and so I kind of got into that for a couple years, and then I got into another series, PBS Kids, Molly of Denali, and then it was right before COVID. My dad got onto When Calls the Heart,
Mm-hmm.
and they needed to cast a daughter, and of course everybody else auditioned, and I was too scared to audition, but it also made sense at the time because yes, I look like my dad. So I
Mm-hmm.
was able to get that
Good. Yeah.
audition,
Yeah.
and based off of my performance they liked it. And then after another, my two brothers auditioned for my brother,
Mm-hmm.
and then because we had two options, Elias is younger, and he got into it, and then my middle brother Lennox slowly got into it too. So we all kind of just like domino effect
Yeah.
got into acting. But yeah, that's just been my journey.
That's nice. That's a good
Yeah,
journey.
yeah,
You know what's nice is when you have family that's supportive, right? But then they
yeah,
also know what it takes and what's like it's nice. Like
yeah. It's
I'm
very
a teacher.
comforting.
I'm a
Hmm.
teacher. And there's no one else that's a teacher in my family.
Oh
They're
no.
very supportive. They're very
Yeah.
throw a barrel in the door. My big Italian family helped me decorate my room. But when I talk about stuff, they're like, they look at me like they don't get it
Of
always.
course.
Right.
Yeah.
But your family's gonna get it
Yeah.
because they understand, which is
Yeah.
that's a nice thing.
It
Unless
is.
you came and said, I wanna be a farmer.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
I can still be a farmer. I can pretend I'm a farmer.
it's true. Robin, I wanted to share with you what she said. She says, "Love your
Hmm.
honesty. You're doing a fabulous job as Angela and look forward to all your scenes. Keep up the amazing work."
Thank
I
you.
just want to have more and more and more scenes. I've been looking forward to this storyline like forever.
Yeah.
Now, where do you think, where if you had a choice or a
Mhm.
chance, and the powers that be that write the story say, "Hey, sit down with us. Where do you want Angela to go?" What would you say? What would you offer for
I
Angela's
know
future?
this has been like thrown around a couple of times, but
Um,
I think it would be really cool for Angela to maybe like assistant teach like with Miss Thornton, or even like learn to be a teacher or get into music. I know she'll be going to school, and I know that she'll be like visiting on the weekends, but
mhm.
yeah, I think like if she studied something with her strengths, that would be really cool. And that would also be a great challenge for me to also learn about what I can do with that. that storyline if that was.
Now, to save time and
Yeah.
not always have to ride the train, you're
Yeah.
gonna ride a horse into
Yeah.
town when you come to visit on the weekend.
No, Roxanne. I mean, yes, okay. I'll have my own horse.
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh. Oh,
Goodness.
Minnie would pass out
Yeah, no,
and
she would not be happy with that.
she would not. You know
No.
what? Sidebar here, because I know
Yeah.
this is not about you, but I loved it when Natasha got to use her real accent for the
Yeah,
play. I thought that was
exactly.
great.
A lot of people like forgot at one point that
Yes.
Natasha was British.
Yeah.
Like, it's also trippy to hear that like a Brit speaking person can like just change it right away. It's very different when we're trying to do a British accent, but she could just drop it, and then it's like, oh my god, yeah, that's Natasha. She didn't have to put anything on. That's just her.
It's great. Robin,
Yeah.
Robin has a question for you, and then I'm going to ask you to talk about another scene this season. Have you ever done voice acting? That's what Robin wanted to know.
I have, yeah. I started out voice acting when I was 10, and I guess I'm still doing it, but yeah, it's been like 9 years of it that I've been voice acting. That's the longest, I guess, like in like subject I've been in the industry, more than film, because I started film like COVID time. But yeah.
So this was just something I was thinking, and I'm not an actor, so I might be getting it wrong totally. I was thinking if you're like so practiced and experienced as a voice actor, maybe you have less ADR stuff that you have to go back in and fix, and I know sometimes it's technical stuff and it could be something in the background or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking you might have less to do.
I mean, sometimes it's not like the actor, sometimes it's like the environment.
Yeah.
So, like, yes and no, but when I do my ADR sessions, I'm usually in and out because I'm able to mimic myself pretty well. I'm used to that in voice acting. Like, the director will throw a line for me to repeat back in like the exact same cadence and tone, and I'm like, okay, here. And then with ADR, it's almost the same. Like, I'm just able to match myself. But yeah, I'd say like my ADR sessions are like 5 minutes sometimes, because I'm able to just, see
Get
what's
it
there
out.
and then get out. Yeah.
It probably takes you longer to have to go where you have to go than it is what you
Exactly.
have to do when you're there. Oh my gosh. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, that's funny. This is cute. Mary says that Lucas should open a college in Hope Valley.
Yeah, you should.
Oh
I'll
my
prompt that.
All right. So I want to talk about some more things, but I was trying to be creative and
Of
throw out
course.
some words. And
Yeah.
then you tell me what you think. And then, of course, I got to add in my 2 cents of everything.
Okay.
So comics. What comes to mind when I say comics?
Specifically with the show?
Yes. Unless you want to add something else, I don't care.
Oh no. Comics reminds me of Elias and Billy when they were doing a scene where they had comics and Miss Thornton, Aaron, caught them reading. I just thought it was a really funny scene because my brother like kind of nudged Billy like right away, and just me knowing my brother how he would do that in real life, that just it was actually hilarious to me in the sense. It was very discreet, but like that's what came to mind.
Real life, that's cute. That's because that's like a behind the scenes kind of thing. So you had a real life moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, those comic books were cool. Like they actually made them, right?
Yeah. We just had like a bunch on set, and a lot of the kids in the class were just supposed to be reading, and then Aaron would come around and be like, okay, let's put them away. And then, Billy's the only one that's caught with it out.
Poor Billy.
Yeah, I know.
Now, all right, what about grilled cheese? They kept talking about grilled cheese.
I know they did. Grilled cheese. I know that Ava had a line with grilled cheese. She was talking to, oh my God. She was talking to Chris McNally about having it, I think, one time. And then it came back into the script. But grilled cheese reminds me of our crafty grilled cheese, because we have such an amazing crafty. And there's this one time we had, it's called pandesal, and it's a Filipino sweetbread. And it was like cheese, and it was something else besides cheese. I don't know, but it was just so good. And I had a lot of them those days. But that's what it reminded me of.
So, and grilled cheese became in history became really popular during that time. So
Yeah.
everybody's eating it. There's even a line where Emily is sitting
Mhm.
there about to do the interview with Lucas, and she's like, "Oh, do we all get to eat grilled cheese?"
Yeah, exactly. That's what came back in the script. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then we had it on set, so it was amazing.
Cool, cool. I
Mhm.
love it. Now, what about dancing? What if I say dancing?
Dancing. That's definitely Charleston.
Uh-huh.
There was a lot during this season that we had to do and practice, and luckily we have some dancers on set. Grayson, Ava, and I think Jada. Jada did dance, yeah. I only did it for a summer, so I'm not a dancer, but I had to practice a bit more, and it was definitely fun. Like having a choreographer on set and then
Mhm.
learning also how to be like technical. It was like I couldn't watch them learn it. I even though I knew it, so that was just very fun to learn as my character.
And then that's true. Like, so your character's dancing, but you're
Yeah,
blind. So that was a little bit different for you.
yeah.
Which brings me to one of the best scenes this season is the one between
Uh-huh.
Angela and her dad in
Yeah.
the little living room
Mhm.
talking about, like, he kinda poo-pooed you off before, and then he made sure when he went back that he took it in a different direction, and it was so good. It was so good, and is that sort of that's what I was trying to say before. Is
Mhm.
it because you already have that kind of relationship for real that it makes it so easy?
Of course, yeah. Like
It is, okay.
my dad and I threw in the little because in real life we do say like he'll say like I love you. I say I love you more, and then he'll say I love you most, and then I'll say I love you infinity, and then we'll just keep going back and forth. So we threw that in there just as like our
Thing.
real life father daughter thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was very natural. Um, Definitely scenes with my dad. I'm not as stressed because I know that he's not gonna let me fail. And that was the first thing he said when I got this part. He's not gonna let me fail. And
Mhm.
same with Peter DeLuise, one of our directors.
Who I
And
love.
yes, me too. And
Mhm.
yeah, so like any scene with my dad is always real. There's nothing behind it. It's Vienna and Viv, and
Aw,
I think that's what's really special about it. I get to do that with my family. Like,
which is sweet. That's nice. How
yeah.
are you, like, on takes? Like, are you good? Does it, like, roll out because it's so easy? Or is it just, like, the average? You make the same mistakes that you would make with no matter who was your scene partner?
Almost, I think even more sometimes. Like, I do have to get. Obviously, every actor has to get their line
Sure,
down.
sure.
Especially with my dad. So he doesn't have the best memory. I have a really good memory, and so I'll like know his lines, but obviously I can't say it. And so
I
I'll
didn't even
just
think
like
of
when
that.
we're rehearsing or blocking, I'll be like, "Yeah, Dad, it's this, blah 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 blah." And he's like, "Okay, thank you." But yeah, I also catch myself making mistakes too because sometimes I'll be so focused for so long that I would be like, oh my goodness, what's my line? And then that's a flub. Or like more actions is like harder for me because
Yeah,
yes, obviously. But yeah, I think as I'm as like I mess up just like
just
everyone.
yeah, but
More,
different. That's cool.
yeah, in a different way.
I'm gonna share what I think it's Robin. She says
Hmm.
supportive family for this type of industry is a definite plus. Great journey so far, Vienna. Wishing all success in your future. We look forward to seeing more of you going in the future.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Mary wants to know, what
Mhm.
is your favorite set location so far?
Uh, like within the set?
I guess, like, all of it, because they've gotten very creative. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
saw some drone looking, like, this past episode. I'm like, "They had a drone out. That looks like like
Yeah.
something's going on." Yeah, from the
Um,
view we have.
Set location. I am okay. So like when the first seasons when I came here, I really liked the candy shop because I have a sweet tooth, but I do really like the school. A lot of like really really fun and heartwarming scenes take place there. We can
Yeah.
also fit everybody in there,
Well, that's true.
and it can either be like there's 50 people in there, there's one person in there, there's a bunch of kids in there, or yeah, we turn it into like something else. I think the schools where I started, and it's also where I ended. And I think it's like it kind of, it's like when calls the heart itself, like that's its like little mascot, you know, to me.
No, it is. You're absolutely right. It is. It would be the most iconic building, I think.
Yeah.
Especially because there's like a whole history of when there was the fire and
Yeah.
Jack helping to rebuild it for
Of
Elizabeth,
course.
that whole history. So
Yeah.
I can see why you would choose that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not done with my words that I was
Oh
trying to
no,
say here. I know I took some questions. What about costumes? I say the word costumes and what comes into mind?
huh. Barbara. She is our costume designer and seamstress. She's amazing. Her dad and her mother, and I know she has like another relative helping them out, but I'm not sure who. But just her family in general, it's always gonna be Barbara because she's so creative.
She is.
Picking particular like buttons for Aaron, like instead of like this person, or knowing like which fit, which dress, which color would suit this type of scene, this person, this type of outing. Costumes, when you say costumes, Barbara comes to mind because she's just like immersed in that world and has to know almost every detail about the show and the characters and personalities. Like, it's just, I'm so fascinated by it.
Now, you have to get in your costume. Do you have a trailer?
I do, yeah.
Or is it yours or do you have to share it?
Okay, well, I've got a trailer sometimes, and I've got a trailer with my brother, then I've got a trailer with my dad, so like it's there. It's our community trailer, you know?
Yeah. No, that's cute because I was thinking you could really share it, especially if they needed space or you didn't get one at all.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It's like
right.
it's no problem.
What was the other one? Wow, that would be tough to do. Good for you. I'm not sure what that comment was from.
Oh, I was rambling. I don't know.
No. It might be an older one. This is cute. Jan is sharing with. I was my dad's little girl, so I understand how great it is to be with your dad, and it is that you do have just like this, like of course, natural chemistry, right? You got to. Wouldn't that be funny if you were with your parent and you had no chemistry?
I know. Thank goodness.
No.
Oh no.
That is a question I want to ask you as an actor. Different scene partners, and of course sometimes there's more ease than not, and it has nothing to do, I know, with the person's relationship outside. I remember we were asking Kevin and Kayla, their first movie that they did together was Feeling Butterflies, and I was chatting with them and someone was asking, and did you find it easier or more difficult? And Kayla was like, well, kind of more difficult because I have to pretend that I don't know him, and then I do, so
of course it's gonna like through.
Yes. Do you feel as an actor chemistry when you're with someone, like, and I don't mean chemistry, I mean real actor chemistry. I'm not talking about like like you're gonna be like a love match on screen. Do you get that? Is that a real feeling that you have? Like you've been there doing a scene with someone and there's like this zip or connection.
I definitely try to do my job as an actor to like get to know the person very well, like already be talking to them before the scene. Communicate, like if we do this, I think this is gonna really benefit the scene. It's gonna make the audience go ooh, or it's gonna, like tie up the scene very well.
Right.
Definitely like the main scenes that I have would usually be with Natasha, with my dad, my brother, Jada, or Aaron. And because we know how we work together, like the characters and kind of their behavior, it's a lot easier to have chemistry than it just being someone new coming to set and not talking at all and then having to jump into a scene. Right. So we get to talking. We also talk to the directors. We also like, we can not change things, but like tweak things here and there if we think this is more what Angela would do. This is more what, Natasha's character would do. Like, so there's like thought going into it, but it's usually because we're a big cast. We're always talking to each other. So there's already chemistry. There's already like friendship. But
there's already a connection, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Good question. Yeah.
She was telling us, she was saying good job for your dancing.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. What about outdoor school? What do you think of those scenes and that whole
Oh my
story?
goodness. Okay. Well, because it's Vancouver, it's very rainy some days, and thank God for our tarps. We have like really big cranes with tarps that cover our set, of course, but it's loud. And so that's also where a lot of ADR comes in. And we're outside. So our tents sometimes are like, our walls aren't on the tents, or the heater, there's only like one little heater in the corner.
Oh my
So
God.
our outside school scenes, they're tricky. And it's also like when it's hot too, I feel so bad for Kevin sometimes because he has his Mountie jacket on and it's like thick. Like, I don't know what that fabric is, but it's like felt. And he's like under the sun on a horse. No tarp covering him. So I try not to complain, but like when I'm in a long sleeve and have to pretend that it's cold, it's like it's a mind game. But yeah, our outside hot and cold scenes are definitely fun, challenging, and then just try not to look like you're the opposite, sweating or cold.
That makes sense. I remember I had asked this of when I had Emily on. Well, Emily, you know what I mean.
Grayson. I mean,
Grayson, that's so funny. Grayson, I know that was when she was saying the mud at times was pretty bad, and it could be cold mud. And I was like, oh, I never even thought of that. Here's me just excited that you're in the woods so much this season, and it's all so beautiful. And
of course.
I didn't even think about the mud and all of that.
The dirt, and like walking in a way that your dirt doesn't pick up behind your dress, and then you have to go costumes, and then it's a whole thing. But yeah, the mud, I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Do you get doubles of your costume or no?
I get doubles of my costume because I have a hand double for the piano. Sahara. But she's like my doppelganger for the piano. And so we'll have 2 sets of costumes, and it's usually just like from here down, you're showed the piano. And so me playing is not me playing, that's Sahara.
Yes, her. Yeah.
Which is cool. Yeah. And we look like the little twins from The Shining. There was one picture we took where we were exactly the same, and it was hilarious. And so yeah, we get double costumes when we have those scenes.
That makes sense. That does.
Yeah.
So we have 3 episodes left before this season is over. I'm not asking for spoilers, so don't worry. I would never do that.
I know.
I wouldn't. I'm good at that. But I was wondering, do you watch each Sunday? Do you have your little party and watch as a family?
I definitely, if we are not busy on Sunday nights, yes, because sometimes I work and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed it. Or like I'll recap. And we'll usually do our best to watch. And that is if we're all home at the same time. But yeah, I'll like catch up on social media and Twitter and you know, like what's being posted on Instagram and when our When Calls the Heart account. But yeah, I always try to be kept like updated when I can.
Yes. Now, this is a good question, and I know somebody was asking something else, but I don't want to address I don't want to address it where you have to like you're spoiling something. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah. So, but this is worded a little differently. I'm sorry, that's not the one I want right now. This is the one. With Angela going off to college, she'll be meeting new people. So how do you feel about a potential like love story in the future?
Right.
How do you feel about it? What if they said, listen, you're gonna get a love interest? How would your dad feel about it?
I have a partner in real life, so I'm very like I'd be very professional. But my dad also would, you know, I'm his daughter, but there was a potential like more than friends that was happening when Jabin and I were in some scenes, and I was like, okay, I think it's more like Jada and him. So then that kind of just like rolled out, and I was like, okay, cool. But I had no problem with it. And if it came back around, yeah, again, I'd be open to whatever happens. But yeah, I know that Angela has said I'm not gonna start dating until after college. So
I know.
So whatever she says, yeah.
And that could be a little like teaser that the writers are throwing in every now and again for us.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. But yeah.
Yes. Now this is the other question. Also, I think it flies on the set as it is around grass fields and forests. That would be tough, them having horses around, right? Yes.
A lot of wildlife, and there's a train right beside our set, and there's planes. It's like being in the actual set town.
Really? There are trains.
There's an actual train, and there's actual planes that go over, of course. And what else is there? Yeah, there's like a lot of cute kitty cats and dogs sometimes, horses.
Wow.
I've seen like a chipmunk here and there, but yeah, it's pretty cute, and probably a frog. But yeah. Yeah.
Snakes?
No.
Okay.
I can't knock on wood right now, but like
I'm sure they're there, but you have not.
I don't want to see a snake.
No.
No.
Oh my goodness, this has been so lovely.
Oh, it has been too. Thank you, Roxanne.
And I love your scene. I can't say it enough. I really have been. I think it might be the teacher in me. I've been waiting for this, but
probably.
You know what else? I think I also connect from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big Little House on the Prairie fan.
Oh, yep. Then this is right up your alley.
Yes. And I was like, wait a minute. They're going to go there. I'm excited.
Oh, my goodness.
And then the set, I wish I didn't flub my thing that I wanted to put up because it was a great scene, a great photo that Natasha put up. Yeah. And it had the actresses with you, all of you together. And the set was gorgeous. They really did a really good job.
They took everything out and put everything in that was like supposed to be for the school.
I'm wondering what they used as an idea, like a model for it.
I'm sure they looked around set and were like, okay, what can we do to obviously like match? And I'm sure some of the furniture in there was just from like another area of set. Sure. And they probably also ordered things in. But yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm in another, I'm in an actual school. It was pretty cool.
It was good. It was really nice. This has been lovely.
Thanks so much.
I'm looking, and I was just seeing if we had another question, but we had millions of questions, and I just tried to pick out as we went along. I'm just looking. This is a good one. Let's do this. This is a good This is fun. If you could have one guest star come on When Calls the Heart and work with you, who would you like it to be?
That's a good question.
Yes. That's a good one.
Who do I find funny?
You want someone to be funny?
Honestly, I think if anyone came on set, it would be like Aquafina.
What?
She's hilarious. She would not fit into the set. But like, if anyone, it's Aquafina.
Would that be like some wild dream that you had?
No, that was just some actor. I have a favorite comedian, and his name is Sebastian Maniscalco. Like my whole family, he's an Italian comedian. My whole family loves him, and I think honestly, if he came on to set, it would be like hilarious because my dad also loves him. My brother and my mom, my brothers and my mom. I think it would actually have to be Sebastian Maniscalco.
Okay, all right. I think that would be good. That would be fun. I would think that would be great. So they're saying goodbye to you. They're saying great they're agreeing with you.
She's hilarious.
Cheryl's saying great conversation. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. All right. We could say good night and then we'll say good night behind. Okay. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you for